Hello everyone, a very good evening to all of you. So just confirm me once in the chat box that my voice is audible and the presentation PDF file is visible to you so that we can start the today's live knowledge sharing session. So it is being requested to you kindly confirm me that voice is audible and the PDF file is visible to you. Okay, so in our today's session we are going to discuss on certain important topics. Okay, I am not going to take your much more time. इस नॉलेज शेयरिंग सीरीज का पर्पस यही है, वी आर गोइंग टू कवर मैक्सिमम थिंग्स इन मिनिमम अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम. ओके, एंड इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन, इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट रिगार्डिंग द कंप्लीट कॉन्सेप्ट, you can comment in the WhatsApp group and you can comment in the chat box also, so that we can take the same in the during the session itself. Okay, the purpose of this session is very much clear: to enhance our knowledge, to update ourselves. Okay, very soon we are going to activate our WhatsApp group also. In that WhatsApp group we are going to share multiple information, multiple updates regarding GST and certain other points in that particular group. Okay, we'll start from 11th of August. Most probably we'll start from 11th of August. Within 2 to 3 days you got the complete update for that also. Okay, so लास्ट टाइम ये भी रिक्वेस्ट थी कि वी नीड टू कंडक्ट दिस सेशन ऑन जूम प्लेटफॉर्म, बट देयर वाज सर्टेन टेक्निकल इश्यूज ऑन जूम प्लेटफॉर्म, हेंस वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू कंडक्ट द सेम ऑन दैट जूम प्लेटफॉर्म. वेरी सून वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट ऑन जूम प्लेटफॉर्म आल्सो. अवर थर्ड और मोस्ट प्रोबब्ली अवर फोर्थ सेशन विल बी ऑन जूम. ओके, एंड द शेड्यूल इस बार हमको एक दिन जो है डिले करना पड़ गया यहाँ पर सेशन, बट फ्रॉम नेक्स्ट टाइम अवर सेशन विल बी ऑन first and third Saturday. Okay, 6 p.m. is the fixed time. From the next time we are going to do it in a continuous basis. Okay, so can we start the session? So इस इंफॉर्मेशन को आप अदर्स लोगों के साथ भी शेयर कर सकते हो कि ऐसा एक नॉलेज शेयरिंग सेशन हर 15 डेज में एक दिन हो रहा है, तो वो लोग भी इसको ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. सो इन आवर टुडे सेशन वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस ऑन क्लॉज नंबर 44 ऑफ 3CD. Also we are going to discuss on interplay between the tax audit and GST returns, annual return or GST data, how we can verify the same during the tax audit. Okay, and this is also helpful for other GST officers that what they need to check during their GST audit. Okay, so we are going to discuss basic and various technical things regarding that, and also in this session we are going to discuss on the 51th GST council meeting के अंदर एक जो डिसीजन लिया गया, only one recommendation is there, so we are going to discuss on that recommendation also. और एक और important चीज हम लोग इस सेशन में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं. We are going to discuss one more important thing, that now from July 2022 we was also available to claim the refund of input services. I am talking from inverted duty structure refund point of view. तो उसकी कैलकुलेशन कैसे होती है, how we are going to take that amount and how we are going to calculate the amount, we are going to discuss on that practical part also. Okay, हर सेशन में हर 15 डेज में जो सेशन होने वाला है उसमें एक पॉइंट हम प्रैक्टिकल का रखेंगे, कुछ अपडेट्स होगी और कुछ रिलेवेंट टॉपिक्स होंगे. एंड यू ऑल आर आल्सो फ्री, यू कैन कमेंट दी topic on which you want the discussion in the WhatsApp group, so that I can discuss the same. We can discuss on that particular topic in our knowledge sharing session. So with that we are going to start this session. सबसे पहला क्लॉज नंबर 44 फॉर्म 3CD. हम सबको पता है नाउ दिस इज द सीजन ऑफ टैक्स ऑडिट एंड इन दैट टैक्स ऑडिट वी नीड टू डिमांड दैट clause number 44 from our client because form 3cd is going to feed by that client. We are just going to verify the things as per law. Okay, और practically क्या हो रहा है you very well know. So क्लॉज नंबर 44 ऑफ फॉर्म 3CT के अंदर जीएसटी से रिलेटेड कुछ स्पेशल जो है चीजें यहाँ पर डिमांड की गई है, कुछ स्पेशल बाइफर्केशन डिमांड किए गए। ऑल्सो दिस पॉइंट इज वेरी मच रिलेवेंट फ्रॉम जीएसटी ऑफिसर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू बिकॉज एट द टाइम ऑफ जीएसटी ऑडिट उनको एक और टूल मिल गया, दे गॉट वन रेडीमेड टूल इन दैट दे गॉट द डिटेल्स रिगार्डिंग द purchases and the expenditure from the GST registered person, from the composition person, from the unregistered person and all that, and they are going to verify the same, reconcile the same from the GST record. That is what is the purpose of this clause number 44. So this clause number 44 is something danger clause number 44. Okay, so now with that, in that clause number 44, as a auditor, this is also a very tough task for us to bifurcate or to check or reconcile that bifurcated data from the client, but we need to do this. Okay, I am also going to share with you certain techniques, और उन techniques के थ्रू हम लोग इसको कैसे अच्छे वे में, एक गुड वे में कर सकते हैं, वो भी हम लोग बात करेंगे। सर मेरी लैंग्वेज आप सबके लिए ओके है ना? वी आर गोइंग टू यूज हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश बोथ। ओके, ऑल द अवर सेशन रिगार्डिंग जीएसटी विल ओनली बी इन इंग्लिश, और जो भी हमारे अर्लियर जो भी सेशंस हुए दैट वाज कंप्लीटली इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज, बट नाउ इन दिस नॉलेज शेयरिंग प्रोग्राम वी आर गोइंग टू यूज मिक्स लैंग्वेज हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश। इज दैट ओके फॉर एवरीवन? सो यार डिस्कशन है, मुझे पता है जूम नहीं है, बट आप अपने कमेंट्स के थ्रू जो है इस डिस्कशन को इंटरेक्टिव बना सकते हो, फ्रूटफुल बना सकते हो। चैट बॉक्स इज ओपन इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी, यू कैन कमेंट सो वी कैन मेक दिस सेशन एज मच एज इंटरेक्टिव। क्लॉज नंबर 44 के अंदर यहां पर जो है गवर्नमेंट ने हमसे क्लॉज नंबर 44 के अंदर यहां पर गवर्नमेंट ने हमसे जो डिमांड की है, उन्होंने हमको बोला है कि हमको जो भी गुड्स आपने परचेज किया है रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन से उसकी डिटेल चाहिए। दे डिमांडेड द डिटेल रिगार्डिंग परचेजिंग फ्रॉम द रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन, फ्रॉम द अनरजिस्टर्ड पर्सन, फ्रॉम द कॉम्पोजिशन डीलर एंड फ्रॉम एग्जेम्प्ट सप्लाई। दैट मीन्स जो भी परचेज है, टोटल परचेज है, सपोज द टोटल परचेज इज ऑफ 5 करोड़ रुपीज, इन दैट केस द टैक्सपेयर हैज टू प्रोवाइड, द टैक्सपेयर हैज टू प्रोवाइड द बाइफर्केशन, the bifurcation of that purchase related to exempt supply, related to unregistered person, related to registered person and related to composition dealer, so that यहाँ पर complete bifurcation will be available in clause number 44, and with that bifurcation they are going to reconcile the profit and loss account, the expenditure side of profit and loss account, and also they can reconcile the data from GST portal. Okay, that is what is the concept. So total expenditure incurred during the year, that is what is the complete amount. Suppose the total expenditure incurred was 5 crore rupees, okay, including purchase and import, capital expenditure also reported. कई लोग एक क्वेश्चन रेज कर रहे हैं कि we need to report that capital expenditure or not. So this is the point that we need to record, we need to report the capital as well as the revenue expenditure. That means we need to report the purchases, we need to report the expenditure, we need to report the capital as well as the revenue expenditure, and also we need to report the purchases on account of import. जो हमको नहीं रिपोर्ट करना है वो है, we are not going to report the depreciation figure, we are not going to report the bad debts, we are not going to report the schedule 3 activities. Okay, these are not reported in this total expenditure incurred. मैं अभी फर्स्ट पॉइंट की ही बात कर रहा हूं, आई एम टॉकिंग फ्रॉम दैट फर्स्ट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, दैट इज अवर टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर इंक्लूडिंग योर परचेजेस, चाहे वो डोमेस्टिक परचेज हो और चाहे वो इंपोर्ट के अकाउंट पे परचेज हो, इंक्लूडिंग द कैपिटल एज वेल एज रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर. But we are not going to report the depreciation and the bad debts, and also the supplies which is covered under schedule number 3 of CGST Act, that is neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Because जब उन्होंने ये डिसाइड कर लिया कि दिस सप्लाई इज नीदर सप्लाई ऑफ गुड्स एंड नॉट सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विसेज, इन दैट केस देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट टू रिपोर्ट द सेम इन द क्लॉज नंबर 44 ऑफ फॉर्म 3CT. ओके, नाउ शेड्यूल नंबर 3 के अंदर कौन कौन सी एक्टिविटीज स्पेसिफाइड है? सो हमको याद है एम्प्लॉयर एम्प्लॉय रिलेशनशिप। ओके, एम्प्लॉयर एम्प्लॉय रिलेशनशिप के कारण कोई भी एक्सपेंडिचर यहां पर है, देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट टू रिपोर्ट द सेम। ऐसे कोई भी एक्सपेंडिचर जो कि कोई कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में पोस्ट हेल्ड करता है उसके बिहाफ पे किए गए हैं, देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट टू रिपोर्ट दैट पर्टिकुलर expenditure as a supply. Okay, so these are certain things which we need not to report the same. If there is any stock transfer, if there is any cross charge, and if there is any input service distributor के account पे कोई transfer किया है, in that case there is no requirement to report the same. That means सर मैं आपके साथ में ना exclusions जो है cover कर रहा हूँ. Okay, that means you need to report the complete purchase including the expenditure capital as well as revenue in nature, and also you need to report the import, but you are not going to report the depreciation related details, the bad debt related detail, and all the activities and transactions which is covered under schedule 3 of CGST, as well as you need not to report the stock transfer, the ISD, and the cross charge. Sir, what do you mean by this stock transfer? Suppose I have a head office in Rajasthan and I have various branches in different countries, in different state of the country. Okay, so अगर मैं मेरे किसी ब्रांच को कोई गुड सप्लाई करता हूं, इन दैट केस दैट सप्लाई शुड बी ट्रीटेड एज द स्टॉक ट्रांसफर. ओके, इन दैट केस देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट टू रिपोर्ट द सेम इन क्लॉज नंबर 44 ऑफ फॉर्म 3CD. Okay, also if there is any cross charge is supply between the distinct person as per section 25 of CGST Act, and as per section 25 of CGST Act, distinct person means same PAN number but different GSTN. If the PAN number is same and the GSTN different, in that case we can say that those person are covered under the definition of distinct person. Hence, between the transaction between the distinct person is need not to report in the clause number 44 of form 3CD. Also, if there is any input service distributor, suppose head office has bought certain products, okay, and head office is going to transfer those products to various branches, in that case head office has to transfer the input tax credit related to that goods in the ratio of the turnover of preceding financial year. So in that case, that stock transfer, that cross charge, and that input service distributor is not going to add in the definition of your total expenditure. 8 peoples are there, so it is my humble request to you, just confirm me once that the total expenditure is okay for you and the exclusions regarding that total expenditure is also okay for you. I am requesting reply from each and everyone. So now we had already reported the total expenditure. Now we just require the bifurcation of that expenditure. What amount of purchases you got from the composition dealer? What is the exempt supply in that particular total expenditure? What is from the registered dealer and what is from the unregistered person? That is what is the bifurcation is required by the departmental authority. Okay, in form 3CD clause number 44. So now we need to report the expenditure and purchases which is exempt under GST, which is exempt under GST. Exemption के लिए you need to check the various exemption notification issued by the CBIC. All those, if you just need to, for that purpose, you just need to identify the nature of the client, the goods and services of that particular client, and you need to suggest that sir, your goods and services are covered under that particular exemption notification or not. And if the same is covered under the exemption notification, in that case, you need to report the same in this column. Okay, in this point. And if the same is not covered under exempt, then they may be under composition or registered or unregistered, whatever will be the scenario. But for that purpose, we need to check the exemption notifications, okay, which is available on CBIC website. And also petrol, diesel, and other natural gas related expenditure should be reported in the exempt tab. Okay, because there is no any other facilities available, so आप इस tab के अंदर उसको report करेंगे. That is what is the concept. Now second point है all the purchases which you got from the composition dealer. In that case we need to take the same from composition dealer. Sir, इस सब को करने के लिए the basic thing is that the accounting software of your client should be prompt. Okay, we need to suggest to our client that you need to maintain the heads in your accounting software. If he has fed the data in the accounting software as per the heads, in that case there is no issue because all the things are available in the reports. So we are in this session we are just going to discuss the various bifurcation of clause number 44 of form 3cd. So first bifurcation was goods or services which is exempt under gst. Second point, if the taxpayer has bought any particular goods or services from the composition dealer, or if any expenditure is on account of composition dealer, in that case the same should be covered under it. Okay, now relating to other entities, that is registered entities. Now we had already covered the exempt supply, we had already covered the composition dealer. अब अगर आपने कोई रजिस्टर्ड डीलर से कोई गुड्स बाय किया है, रजिस्टर्ड डीलर से कोई सर्विसेज ली है, या फिर रजिस्टर्ड डीलर के बिहाफ पे कोई एक्सपेंडिचर है, इन दैट केस दैट एक्सपेंडिचर, दैट गुड्स, दैट सर्विसेज शुड बी रिपोर्टेड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर. ओके, नाउ टोटल पेमेंट मेड टू रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी, जो भी आपने पेमेंट मेड किया है किसको, रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी को, उसकी डिटेल आपको यहां पर फीड करनी है और ये डिटेल आपकी इस टैब से ऑटो पॉपुलेट आने वाली है. जो आपके रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटीज है वो ऑटो पॉपुलेट आने वाली है. व्हाटएवर सॉफ्टवेयर यू आर गोइंग टू यूज फॉर फाइलिंग दैट फॉर्म 3cd, दिस डिटेल इज ऑटो पॉपुलेटेड इन दैट पर्टिकुलर शीट. व्हेन यू आर गोइंग टू import that particular excel sheet in your software, in that case that software is automatically going to feed this detail in that particular column. Okay, so इसके लिए हमको कोई लोड लेने की यहाँ पर रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. Then expenditure related to entities not registered under GST. सर, जो भी बैलेंस अमाउंट है वो सारा का सारा हमारा अनरजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी से होना चाहिए, बिकॉज वी हैड ऑलरेडी कवर्ड द रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी, composition dealer and exempt supply. So the balance will be our supply from unregistered dealer. So in that case unregistered dealer ka figure we are going to take from the software, and also we are going to reconcile that all these three figures are matching with the total expenditure. That is what is the responsibility of the auditor. Your client is going to provide you the report, your client is going to provide you the data, but we need to check the same. And all the GST officer can check the data from this clause 44, because this clause 44 will play a very important role during the GST audit itself. Okay, so दिस इज द कंप्लीट कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ योर क्लॉज नंबर 44. उन्होंने इससे ज्यादा इसमें कोई डिटेल डिमांड नहीं की है. दे जस्ट रिक्वायर द बाइफर्केशन ऑफ परचेज एंड एक्सपेंडिचर. वी नीड टू रिपोर्ट द टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर एंड देन आफ्टर वी नीड टू बाइफर्केट द सेम. ओके, नाउ एक्सक्लूजन वी हैड ऑलरेडी कवर्ड. Now our point is that certain special point is there. If the taxpayer has not claimed ITC on certain purchases, still the same should be reported in clause number 44. सपोज क्लाइंट बोलता है कि मैंने इसके ऊपर तो इस पर्टिकुलर सप्लाई में तो मैंने इनपुट क्लेम की ही नहीं, या फिर इस पर्टिकुलर बाइंग पे आई हैव नॉट क्लेम्ड द इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट. इन दैट केस the taxpayer has to report the same in this clause number 44. okay, यहाँ पर ये बाइफर्केशन नहीं है कि आपने आईटीसी ली तो आप रिपोर्ट करो और आईटीसी नहीं ली तो आपको रिपोर्ट नहीं करना है. you need to report the same whether you had claimed the input tax credit or you had not claimed the input tax credit. There is no effect of that. okay, so now there is certain issues are available. So first we are going to discuss the issues and I will share with you the probable solution of that also. okay, so that it will be useful for you. So basic concept अपना clear हो गया होगा. क्लॉज नंबर 44 के अंदर टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर उन लोगों ने डिमांड किया है और उसका बाइफर्केशन डिमांड किया है. ओके, एंड एक्सक्लूजन वी हैड ऑलरेडी कवर्ड. नाउ द पॉइंट इज दैट व्हाट इज द इश्यू इन following this clause number 44, because many of the chartered accountants, many of the auditors are going to report this clause number 44 with one note that the data is not maintained by the client. As a chartered accountant, as a professional, I cannot use this line because client is already going to maintain the same, because as per accounting standard, and when we are going to check the accounting of that particular client, in that case we got दैट अकाउंटिंग इज मेंटेन्ड ऑलरेडी। हो सकता है हेड्स का कुछ इश्यू हो, बस उसने अकाउंटिंग तो की है कि ये गुड्स मैंने कॉम्पोजिशन से खरीदा है, ये गुड्स मैंने रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी से खरीदा है, ये गुड्स मैंने अनरजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी से खरीदा है। ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर अवेलेबल विद द क्लाइंट्स। हेड्स में गड़बड़ हो सकती है बट अवेलेबल है। सो दिस इज माय हम्बल सबमिशन टू यू दैट प्लीज नॉट टू रिपोर्ट these lines in the form number 3CD clause number 44, that client is not going to maintain the things. Okay, so now the basic problem, the first problem is that how to bifurcate the registered and unregistered entity. कई बार क्या होता है, client is going to use the head of purchase. Okay, अब वो रजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी से है, अनरजिस्टर्ड एंटिटी से, ऑल्दो in various software the facility in all of the software facility is available to select the head that is registered or unregistered, or this is a mandatory tab. Okay, registered के अंदर the client has to report the GSTN, and in unregistered tab there is no requirement to report the GSTN. So we need to generate the report. This is the issue, but we need to say to our client that we need required that particular report. And when you are going to check the consolidated GSTR 3B, whatever accounting software is going to be used by that particular party, there is a facility available in that particular accounting software regarding generation of GSTR 3B. And when you are going to generate that GSTR 3B report, in that case, in that GSTR 3B report, there is facility available regarding the buying, registered and unregistered. So you can check the same. But here is one more problem is available. And the problem is that multiple time क्या होता है कि GSTR 3B के अंदर वो कुछ चीजें हैं, कुछ एंट्रीज है वो रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं होती है. In that case, we need to check the same. When we are going to check the consolidated GSTR 3B, we need to reconcile the purchase from the trading and profit and loss account first, and after that we need to check the bifurcation of registered and unregistered. Although this is not our responsibility, our client is going to do this task, but as a professional, as a chartered accountant, we need to guide to our client that sir, you need to follow this. Now, one more problem is that how to identify the purchases from the composition dealer. If the client is going to maintain the heads registered, unregistered and composition, in that case there is no issue, because when you are going to generate the GSTR 3B, the separate report is also available regarding purchase from the composition dealer. So you can fill out the details from that and you are going to check the things from that portal also. Now, how to identify the exempt supply? This is the biggest problem, because you need to check the various notifications, you need to check the various exemption notification, you need to check certain things that this is exempt or not, and you need to check the accounting of the client. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि कोई प्रोडक्ट exempt नहीं है और उसने exempt में डाल दिया है. So जब हम लोग क्लॉज नंबर 44 फिल करने जा रहे हैं, इन दैट केस दिस इज आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, whatever data we are going to sign in that clause number 44, that will be perfect. Okay, so we need to check that the particular supply is exempt or not. उसके लिए एक छोटा सा काम हम लोग कर सकते हैं. When we are going to demand the details from our client regarding the audit, we need to demand the details regarding the exempt supply के भाई बता दे तेरी कौन कौन सी सप्लाई जो है एग्जेम्प्ट है, उसकी एक लिस्ट हमें दे दे. सो उसकी हमको इंडिविजुअल बाइफर्केशन मिल जाएगा. देन वी आर गोइंग टू कंपेयर द सेम विद कंसोलिडेटेड बाइफर्केशन. एंड आल्सो वन मोर सजेशन इज दैट इन सब चीजों को करने के लिए one thing is required, that you are mastery in Excel, so that you can do each and everything in a well manner. Okay, now how to verify the data received from the party? So for that purposes, you are going to check the data from the GSTN portal. You need to log into GSTN portal and you need to check the annual data. You need to generate the annual GSTR 9 और 9C. हो सकता है 22-23 का उसने फाइल नहीं किया होगा, फाइनेंशियल ईयर 22-23 का उसने फाइल नहीं किया होगा, बट इन दैट GSTR 9 देयर आर वेरियस कंसोलिडेटेड रिटर्न्स आर अवेलेबल लाइक GSTR 1, GSTR 3B. You can generate the same and you can check the same and reconcile the figures from your data which you are going to feed in the audit report. Now एक पॉइंट ये है कि क्या हम इसको डिक्लेरेशन के थ्रू स्किप कर सकते हैं. सो दिस इज माय सजेशन टू यू, don't skip this, because all the details is maintained by the party. We just need to say to our client that you need to recognize the things, or if we are going to make the efforts on that, we can charge the fees. There is no issue with that. So sir, that is what is the whole concept of clause number 44 of form number 3CD. In that clause we had discussed about the total expenditure, the bifurcation, the exclusions and various issues and uske probable solutions. So once confirm in the chat box that the clause number 44 of form 3CD is okay for you, so that we can take the next topic. I am not going to take your much more time. In a very limited amount of time, I am going to discuss multiple things. हाँ, अगर आपको कोई डाउट हो, कोई चीज समझ नहीं आई हो, इन दैट केस यू आर फ्री, यू कैन से दस दैट प्लीज रिपीट दिस कॉन्सेप्ट एंड प्लीज रिपीट दिस पॉइंट, आई एम रेडी टू डू दिस. Sir, please comment in the chat box on fast basis so that we can take our next topic. Now, our next point is that interplay between tax audit and GST audit. Okay. We all know that this is the time of tax audit and very near future we are going to start the GST audit also, that is GSTR 9 or 9C. We can not, I'm not going to say the GST audit. This is reconciliation and signed by the taxpayer. We are not going to certify. Okay. So now we are going to discuss the interplay between the tax audit and the GST. How we are going to use the GST tools while doing the tax audit. That is what is the concept. क्योंकि कई बार क्या होता है, when we are going to do the tax audit, we are going to check the trading and profit and loss account, and we are going to check the financial statement, we are going to check the complete ledger of that particular party, and we are going to check the sales from the GST returns. Is that okay? We are not going to check any other things. So in this session I am going to share 2 to 3 points more. I am going to add 2 to 3 points in that particular, so that we need to check the things. Okay. So first, reconciliation of the data. Your sales should be reconciled, your purchase should be reconciled. First first reconciliation, I am going to share with you certain reconciliations. Okay. So first we need to do the turnover reconciliation. Turnover reconciliation means turnover as per audit report, turnover as per GST records. That is GSTR 3B. Okay. And if there is any difference in that case, whatever will be the scenario, add or less, हो सकता है डिस्काउंट रिलेटेड कुछ मैटर हो सकता है ट्रेड इंटरेस्ट रिलेटेड कोई मैटर हो, या फिर कोई P&L के पार्ट पे यहाँ पे कोई टैक्स का पेमेंट किया हो, इन दैट केस वी नीड टू एडजस्ट द सेम, एंड आफ्टर ऑल दैट adjustment we need to show the final difference. And if also there is difference, in that case we can say there is any last year related adjustment, or there is any coming year related adjustment, and after all that, whatever will be the difference, we need to ask with our client. That is what is the format we need to use. Okay. This is an जस्ट इन ड्राफ्ट फॉर्मेट, आप इसको अपने अकॉर्डिंग चेंज कर सकते हो. ये मेरा फॉर्मेट है जो मैं अपने ऑफिस में काम करता हूँ, जो मैं अपने ऑफिस में काम में लेता हूँ while the tax audit. Although I am not going to deal with tax audits. Okay. My partner is going to dealing with that, but this is the format जो हम लोग करते हैं जीएसटी रिकंसिलिएशन के लिए. टर्नओवर एज पर tax audit report, turnover as per GST record, and we are going to consider the GSTR 3B return. Whatever will be the difference, if there is any adjustment, we are going to add or less, and after that there is difference on account of last year adjustment or current coming year adjustment. In that case, we are going to report the same, and the final difference we are going to tell to our client. If everything is okay, then okay, and if there is difference, in that case we are going to talk with our client. That is what is the reconciliation format for turnover we are going to use. Okay. सेकंड जो रिकंसिलेशन है, literally I am saying to you that these reconciliations are very required while doing the tax audit. I am not talking for the point of your GST, although you are not going to do the work of GST of that particular person, but you need to check the same while doing the tax audit. One reconciliation is required between your GSTR. I am not going to say that you should reconcile the difference between GSTR 1 and 3B in that tax audit. There is no requirement. But the basic thing is that turnover कम से कम हमारा reconcile हो जाए. GSTR 2B versus 3B, input tax credit. as per GSTR 2B, as per GSTR 3B, IGST, CGST, SGST. If there is any difference exist or if there is any adjustment is available, because GSTR to be होने आने के बाद there is high chances that difference is to be here, difference is to be here, so we are just going to prepare the reconciliation. If there is any difference, we are going to demand the adjustment from the client. Okay, so that when we are going to check the reconciliation between GSTR 2B and GSTR 3B, इससे हमको ये आइडेंटिफाई हो जाएगा उसने कोई बोगस या फिर फेक इनवॉइसिंग तो नहीं की है, या फिर कोई बोगस इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट तो क्लेम नहीं करनी, विच इज नॉट अवेलेबल इन जीएसटीआर 2B एंड द क्लाइंट इज गोइंग टू टेक और क्लेम इन जीएसटीआर 3B. ओके, सो दैट हमको आइडिया लग जाएगा. अगर यहाँ पे छोटा बड़ा डिफरेंस है इस दैट ओके, हो सकता है उसने आगे किया हो, बट कोई ह्यूज डिफरेंस आ रहा है तो वो हमें आइडेंटिफाई हो जाएगा कि क्लाइंट कोई बोगस डीलिंग तो नहीं कर रहा है. Because at the time of scrutiny on account of income tax department or there is any audit, in that case they are asked that you had reconciled the purchase from the GSTR 2B and you had checked the same from GSTR 2B. So for that purpose, we need to prepare this reconciliation. Next reconciliation. Next and the last reconciliation. While doing the tax audit, these three reconciliations are very, very required. You need to do this. Reconciliation between the closing balance of input tax credit, particular IGST, CGST, SGST, as per portal, as per books. इफ देर इज एनी डिफरेंस, हो सकता है कि कुछ इनपुट उन्होंने आगे एडजस्ट किया हो, कुछ आउटपुट उन्होंने आगे एडजस्ट किया हो, वी आर गोइंग टू रिपोर्ट, we are going to reconcile the figure, we are going to take the adjustment from the client, and after that the final reconciliation will be here. You just need to prepare the excel sheet and send to your client के सर इसको आप fill out करके हमको भेज दो, then after we are going to conclude your audit. These three reconciliations are very much required. These reconciliations are clear for each and everyone. सो ये बहुत बड़ा एक पॉइंट है, हमारे पास में एक बहुत बड़ा ऑप्शन है टू चेक द जेन्युइननेस ऑफ द क्लाइंट. हो सकता है कि कोई हमारा नया क्लाइंट हो तो हम उसका सारा डेटा इस तरह से चेक कर सकते हैं. फॉर अवर रेगुलर क्लाइंट्स वी नीड टू चेक द थिंग्स. ओके, सो दिस इज द रिकंसिलिएशन ऑफ डेटा. जीएसटीआर 3B वर्सेस बुक्स हमको इनपुट एंड आउटपुट पर्पस के लिए यहाँ पर चेक करना है, वी हैड ऑलरेडी कवर्ड. एंड जीएसटीआर 2B एंड 3B हमको चेक करना है टू आइडेंटिफाई द फेक इनवॉइसेस. ITC closing balance we need to inquire from portal and books. Okay, accounting as per the relevant provisions of law. When we are going to check the data, कई बार क्या होता है, परचेज रिलेटेड कोई डेबिट नोट है, सपोज उसको कोई परचेज में डिस्काउंट मिला है एंड क्लाइंट इज गोइंग टू रिपोर्ट इन इनकम साइड. उसको क्या करना चाहिए, उसको परचेज के फिगर में से लेस करना चाहिए, बट वो उसको इनकम साइड के अंदर रिपोर्ट कर रहा है. दीस टाइप ऑफ मिस्टेक्स आर देयर इन द अकाउंटिंग ऑफ द क्लाइंट्स. So we need to check these types of mistakes, and if there is any mistakes, in that case we need to reconcile or we need to rectify those mistakes. Okay, अपने को अपने क्लाइंट को ये सजेस्ट करना है कि यहाँ पर ये वाली मिस्टेक्स है. कई बार होता क्या है, क्लाइंट डेटा लेकर के आता है, वी आर गोइंग टू ऑडिट, ओके डन, और उसके कुछ एडजस्टमेंट भी है तो हम हमारी ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में कर लेते हैं. वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू से द सेम टू अवर क्लाइंट. बट अगर हम उनको बताते हैं कि देख तेरे अकाउंट्स में ये मिस्टेक्स हैं, ये पॉइंट्स यू नीड टू रेक्टिफाई, हमारी फीस भी तो बढ़ेगी यार, हम तेरे अकाउंट को भी सही कर रहे हैं. सो डू दिस टाइप ऑफ कंसल्टेंसी सो दैट एवरीथिंग विल बी इन अ परफेक्ट वे. सो मैंने जस्ट डिस्काउंट का एक पॉइंट आपको दिया है. इंटरेस्ट हो सकता है परचेज से रिलेटेड है, वो इनकम में डाल रहा है. कुछ दूसरे एक्सपेंडिचर्स हैं जो उसके एक्सपेंडिचर साइड से रिलेटेड है, एक्सपेंडिचर में से कम होने चाहिए बट वो इनकम में बाइफरकेट कर रहा है. दीज टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स वी नीड टू चेक व्हाइल डूइंग द ऑडिट आल्सो, बिकॉज कंप्लीट लेजर विल बी इन आवर हैंड. वी आर आल्सो गोइंग टू चेक द अकाउंटिंग डेटा ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर क्लाइंट, सो वी नीड टू चेक दीज थिंग्स आल्सो. Cross-check software-generated reports from GSTN portal. You are going to take the consolidated GSTR 3B and GSTR 1 return and compare the same from the consolidated GSTR 3B and GSTR 1 return generated from the GSTN common portal. And now GSTR 9 and 9C is enabled on GSTN portal. So you just need to log in to the particular client and you can check the data of GSTR 9, that is the consolidated GSTR 3B, consolidated GSTR 1 and consolidated system drafted report of GSTR 9. This is the facility which is available in our hand. Now चेक डीलिंग प्रोडक्ट्स फ्रॉम द जीएसटी रजिस्ट्रेशन सर्टिफिकेट, ये एक बहुत बड़ा पॉइंट है, हम लोग कभी चेक नहीं करते हैं क्योंकि हो सकता है हमारे वो कंटिन्यूटी में क्लाइंट है या फिर हम रेगुलर उसकी ऑडिट्स कर रहे हैं, 10 साल 15 साल से हमारा उसके साथ जो है रिलेशनशिप है, बट in current scenario the complete business ideology has already changed. हो सकता है वो कुछ प्रोडक्ट ऐड कर रहा है, हो सकता है वो कुछ प्रोडक्ट लेस कर रहा है, हो सकता है वो कुछ चीजें अपने बिजनेस में एनहांस कर रहा है, अपडेट कर रहा है, कुछ चीजें रिमूव कर रहा है. इन दैट केस दिस अवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बिफोर कंक्लूडिंग द ऑडिट, वी जस्ट नीड टू चेक दैट द प्रोडक्ट we are going to report in the trading and profit and loss account and the products in which the particular taxpayer is going to deal, we need to check the same that these product and services related HSN or SSC code is already mentioned on the GSTN portal. इन सब चीजों में एक एक या फिर दो दो मिनट लगते हैं. But if we are going to check these things, okay, in that case this is also a value addition in our work, and also we are going to satisfy ourselves that we are going to do this audit in a well manner. Okay, so इसको अपनी हैबिट में डाल दें. व्हेन वी आर गोइंग टू कंक्लूड द ऑडिट, चेक द प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विसेज दैट द सेम इज ऑन जीएसटीएन पोर्टल और नॉट. ऑल्सो जीएसटीआर 3 दैट इज फॉर्म 3CD के अंदर वी आर गोइंग टू रिपोर्ट द एड्रेस, ओके, द रजिस्टर्ड प्लेस. In that case, we need to check that the same address is available in the GSTN portal or not. The principal place address we are going to report, and also we need to check the additional place of businesses, and we need to check the same is the number of branches is reported in form 3CD. Okay. Although I am not going to deal with the income tax, okay, and I am not going to fill that form 3CD, but I am going to check these things. Okay. So very carefully examine these things. Now, सेक्शन 269 SS 269T चेक फ्रॉम जीएसटी पर्सपेक्टिव, वो आपको इंटरेस्ट के फिगर्स दे रहा है. द टैक्स पेयर इज गोइंग टू रिपोर्ट द इंटरेस्ट रिलेटेड फिगर दैट दिस इंटरेस्ट इज ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ माय सराफी एंड दिस इंटरेस्ट इज ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ माय ट्रेड. सराफी मींस अनसिक्योर्ड लॉस. So in that case we need to check that the name is reported in the 269 SS or 269 T or not. Also we need to check the related party transactions and GST thereof, and now this facility is available that we can check the purchase and sales from the AIS, TIS and the 26AS. So we need to check the same. 26AS के अंदर sales will be there and AIS, TIS के अंदर purchase and sales both figures was there. So we need to check the same that these things are reconciled with the books of accounts and the GST provisions. So these are the things we need to check and carefully examine while doing the tax audit from GST audit perspective. Okay. So जस्ट कमेंट में इन द चैट बॉक्स दैट हमने 10 से 15 मिनट के अंदर ये पूरा रिकंसिलिएशन जो आपको करने हैं, और ये अगर ये चीजें हम लोग करते हैं, इन दैट केस दिस इज माय एश्योरेंस टू यू दैट व्हाइल डूइंग द टैक्स ऑडिट यू गॉट अ सैटिस्फैक्शन दैट यू हैड डन ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, यू हैड चेक द थिंग्स. ओके, सो so this is okay for you, just the interplay between the tax audit and GST audit, so that we can take the next point, that is the 51th GST council meeting. इसमें हालांकि ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, बस but I just want your confirmation that this thing is okay for you. Now, topic number 3, updates from 51st GST council meeting, and only one update is there. I'm not going to waste much more time and I'm not going to take much more time on this chotu sa topic. Okay, so in that 51st GST council meeting, government has announced or GST council has recommended 28% of GST on the casino race courses and online gaming, has recommended that the actionable claims applied in casino, horse racing and online gaming taxed at the rate of 28%. The rate of tax should be 28% on the casino, house racing and online gaming. That means government online gaming के पीछे पड़ी है. Okay, on the full face value irrespective कि वो by chance और स्किल है. एक तो होता है लक बाय चांस, दूसरा अगर वहां पर कोई स्किल बेस्ड एक्टिविटीज हो रही है, इन दैट केस वो कई बार बोलते हैं कि गेम की डेफिनेशन में नहीं आएगा बिकॉज दिस इज एन स्किल बेस्ड एक्टिविटीज. सो इन दैट पर्टिकुलर 51th जीएसटी काउंसिल मीटिंग उन्होंने क्लियरली यहां पर लिख दिया कि वहां पर वो कसिनो, वो हॉर्स रेसिंग, वो ऑनलाइन गेमिंग, वेदर on account of skill or whether on account of luck by chance, the same should be charged the GST at the rate of 28%. That is what is the concept which is pronounced in that 51th GST council meeting. Okay, देयर इज नो अदर प्रोसेस इज देयर, सिंप्लीफाइड रिटर्न रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस की उन्होंने बात की है। ओके, बाकी कुछ भी ऐसा था नहीं जिसको हम लोग बैठ करके डिस्कस करें, जस्ट एक मेजर पॉइंट है जो हम लोगों ने यहाँ पर कवर कर लिया। एक क्वेश्चन है कि what happen if address in 3CD and GSTN is different, then we need to ask with the client that why there is difference between that address which is mentioned in form 3CD and the GSTN portal। हो सकता है कुछ genuine reasons हो, उसने GST में अपडेट करने के लिए डाला हो, या फिर कुछ रीजन से GST में अपडेट नहीं हुआ हो। In that case GST department can impose the general penalty। This option is available in the hand of GST department, but आप फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन कर सकते हो। यू कैन गो फॉर द फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन एंड यू कैन चेक द थिंग्स। हो सकता है 3CD में कोई पुराना एड्रेस हो, पुराना एड्रेस ही चल रहा हो और उसने जीएसटी पोर्टल में उसका जो लेटेस्ट अपडेटेड है वो उसने डाला हो। सो you can check these things, okay, as a departmental officer you can check these things, as a auditor we need to check that the address should be same। okay, कोई बड़ा फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, but GST department can impose the penalty। so to save our client we need to do one thing, that while doing the tax audit we need to check these things, okay, and from GST officer point of view they can go for the general penalty and also they can report in the audit para। okay, Ramesh ji, is that okay for you? Now point is that from July 2022, there is facility available that under inverted duty structure. What do you mean by inverted duty structure? I suppose everyone is clear on that point, that inverted duty structure means output के ऊपर जो rate of tax है वो कम है and input के ऊपर ज्यादा है। Hence, there is an accumulated balance of input tax credit to the electronic credit ledger of that particular taxpayer। So, for that purposes, यहाँ पर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर रिफंड के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं। एट दैट टाइम जो रिफंड की कैलकुलेशन होती है उसमें हम लोग इनपुट सर्विस का रिफंड क्लेम नहीं कर पाते थे। वी वाज नॉट एबल टू क्लेम द input tax refund on account of input services, but now taxpayer can claim the refund on account of input services as well on the partial basis, on the proportionate basis। so how we are going to do that proportionate basis and how we can calculate the figure, for that purpose I am going to take one example and with that example we are going to clear the things। okay, the basic formula for claiming the refund under inverted duty structure is your turnover of inverted duty structure divided by adjusted total turnover multiplied by net ITC minus tax payable under inverted duty structure। That is what is the formula for calculating the maximum amount of refund under inverted duty structure, that is turnover of inverted duty structure divided by adjusted total turnover multiplied by net ITC minus tax payable on inverted duty structure और tax payable under inverted duty structure। so यहां पर इनपुट सर्विस पे प्रोपोर्शनेट रिफंड अलाउ करने के लिए उन्होंने इस फिगर में चेंज किया। गवर्नमेंट सेज दैट यू कैन चेंज दिस फिगर, यू कैन कैलकुलेट दिस फिगर, टैक्स पेबल अंडर इन्वर्टेड ड्यूटी स्ट्रक्चर। हाउ वी कैन कैलकुलेट? सो सपोज योर टोटल टैक्स पेबल under inverted duty structure, I am just going to take the figures, 1 lakh rupees। okay, the tax payable under inverted duty structure is 1 lakh rupees। now your total input excluding the input on account of input service, suppose input is 4 lakh rupees and input on account of input service, suppose this figure is 50,000 rupees। so earlier you was not able to claim the refund on account of input services, now you can adjust the figure of total tax payable under inverted duty structure with these two figures, so that the refund amount can enhance. So how we can calculate this figure? For that purposes, you need to do one thing. Your total tax payable is 1 lakh rupees. You need to multiply it by total input tax credit including the input services, that is 4,50,000 rupees. Sorry, you need to multiply it by input on account of input excluding the input services, and you need to divide it by total input tax credit including the input services. That means you need to multiply with 4 lakh rupees, that is what is your input excluding the input service, and divided by the इनपुट इंक्लूडिंग द इनपुट सर्विस, सो दैट आप देखोगे ये वाला फिगर जो है यहाँ पर कम हो जाएगा. सपोज दिस फिगर विल कम एज 75,000 rupees. In that case, now in this formula you are going to less just 75,000 rupees, so your refund will be enhanced by 25,000 rupees. That is what is the concept. Okay, if you want I can repeat that concept. So the total tax payable है, suppose that was 1 lakh rupees. Okay, इस 1 लाख रुपीस को यू नीड टू मल्टीप्लाई बाय द इनपुट excluding the input services, suppose the 4 lakh rupees, and you need to divide by the total input tax credit including the input service figure, so that this amount got reduced and your refund amount get enhanced. Okay, that is what is the concept which is provided by the GST department for calculating the refund under inverted duty structure. Just comment me in the chat box once. Just comment me in the chat box that the input service distributors related to refund है under inverted duty structure is okay for you. If you want that we need to repeat this concept, then I am also ready to repeat this concept, and if okay, then please comment in the chat box that this concept is okay for you. I am waiting for your reply. Okay. So in our today's knowledge sharing session, in that session we had covered the clause number 44 of form number 3CD, and after that we had started our discussion on the interplay between tax audit and GST audit. What is the important points from the tax audit point of view which we need to take care. So we had discussed on that, and after that we had discussed on a important decision taken in 51th GST Council meet, and after that we had covered the topic of inverted duty structure के अंदर refund. These 4 points we had covered in our this knowledge sharing program. Okay, in our next session we are going to discuss on certain more important points. You can comment the topics in the WhatsApp group, so that we can take those topics also. Also will come with certain important and certain unique concepts for you in our next knowledge sharing session. So be connected. We'll meet in our next knowledge sharing session will be on 3rd of Saturday, most probably on 19th of August. Okay, so if anyone has any query, if anyone has any doubt regarding our today's session, you can comment in the WhatsApp group so that I can provide you the proper reply, and you can connect with me over call. There is no issue with that. You just need to take time from me, and I will provide you the suitable time. I will give you the suitable time, and accordingly we can connect. Okay, so and also one more request, one more humble request from my side, that whatever will be your feedback for our today's knowledge sharing session, you can comment in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so that others can check those valuable feedbacks and they can also join our next knowledge sharing program. So with that, I am going to sign out for today. So I am waiting for your feedbacks in our WhatsApp group. Thank you, sir. Stay connected for more updates. Good night. Bye bye.